plays Splatoon or anything. I am doing Octo because that is my favorite character. I can speak a little bit more about the run and Splatoon in general if we're ready to get started. So I can count us down. 3, 2, 1, go. So again, this is Splatoon 2 Octo expansion. This is a DLC that was released in 2018 for the base game, Splatoon, which came out in 2017. This category here is NDA. NDA means no death abuse, meaning that we can't utilize there's an in-game skip mechanic for the levels, so we can't use that at all for this category. There is another category that uses such a thing, but we're not doing that category. So there's a ton of cutscenes at the beginning of the game, so I probably find something else to talk about, like a little bit about myself. I have been playing Splatoon since 2016, first starting out as a competitive player. I actually still play competitive, and around this time, actually in 2020, I picked up this game and have been running it ever since. I started with the base game, and I've been striving for a top 10 in that category, which I've gotten. Now this category, this one's really hard, so I'm hoping to do pretty well with it. But again, the beginning is very long, a lot of cutscenes, so not really sure how to fill in time for that. I guess a fun thing I can point out is, like a month ago, I found out that the key that we just picked up was a crab. So that's interesting. Again, a little bit more about Octo expansion in itself. The story. You play as an Octoling who has memory loss, and we're trying to recover it while reaching the surface. In order to do that, we have to somewhat help this telephone here collect 4 fangs, as he's going to tell us, to reach the promised land. And yeah, it's gonna be pretty difficult. So, yeah, my favorite weapon to use competitive is the tent umbrella. Sadly, it's kind of not considered meta, so I don't really use it much anymore. I now use the Junior, the NZAP, and that's really it. Considering that no one's really playing this game anymore competitively, as Splatoon 3 actually just came out last month, people are still trying to figure out weapon picks and what's good map-wise, and yeah, so it's pretty difficult so far in competitive. But it'll start to even out probably like another month or 2. So yeah, what we just picked up was, I can't remember the name actually. I think it's called the CQ-80. It's like a train pass, and it gives us access to different levels that we're going to play or go through. So entering first level, it's pretty straightforward. It's not that difficult. I have messed this level actually during runs, but it's really shouldn't be that bad. we threw that bomb to blow up those crates there to give us easier access to getting this Octolink here. Normally I can make the bomb hit them, sometimes I can't, especially on this guy here. I normally miss the bomb. It hit, actually. Now, this guy here normally gives me, like, some issues. Yeah. Like, they broke my armor. And one of the things, when your armor breaks in this game, you move incredibly slow. And you have, like, this red effect surrounding you, and the enemy can actually see you in, like, the ink, so you're not really safe. So we're gonna have, like, another cutscene here. It's not as long. And then we're going to the next level. It should be fine on cutscene-wise after this. So entering this level is one of the first cycle-based levels. Our movement has to be pretty good in order to make a cycle that's later on in the level. If it's not, we're more than likely losing time. Okay, I messed up a bomb throw, so we're guaranteed time loss for this. It's to make the cycle that's right here on this pillar thing here. And I messed up my jump. Sort of messes up a bit later in the level as well. Not too much, but it's definitely like I'm not used to it. And that's the level. This next level is, I think this is the first one that utilizes a special that's found in multiplayer. It's the inkjet, and there is actually a skip in this level that I'm going to try. I hope I can get it. It's been a bit difficult to get lately. I'm not sure why. But it skips a good portion of the level. Okay, I got it. Like, normally when I miss the skip, that's sort of a reset point for me. But I actually got it this time, so it's pretty good. I think failing it loses, like, I want to say close to 15 seconds. Most deaths in any category within this game, or the Splatoon games, are roughly at least 8 to 10 seconds. So if possible, you would really want to, like, minimize deaths. Now, it's probably... I don't want to say fan favorite, but this is probably one of the levels you would probably hear about the most, and it's the 8-ball levels. They're kinda difficult. If you know what you're doing, they're fine. But I know most top runners can sometimes mess it up as well. This is sort of not ideal so far for me, but it's not really an issue. So what I tried to do right there... yeah, it hit. What I tried to do right there is stop the momentum with a burst bomb, so it doesn't do this, which is kind of annoying when it happens. It's very bad when it happens. So when you use, like, the jump pad, you would want to use a burst bomb to stop it from going back and forth between, like, the bounce pads. But that is it. There's another cutscene here, and then it should be fine until closer to the end. I'm not really sure if it was noticed, but Octo expansion here is very aesthetic, which is cool. A lot of 90s and 80s stuff, as, you know, there's a Super Nintendo right there, which is pretty cool. There's another level that had, like, flip phones. There's, like, a ton of, like, references to stuff like that, which is nice. It's, like, very pleasing to see stuff like that. Okay, that was a limited ink level. Sometimes I have this another reset point for me. I believe you have 24 shots before you, like, fail the level. Okay, here's another cycle-based level. And it also depends on how good you can menu. Like, if you have bad menuing, these crates are, like, not where you want them to be. It's kind of another straightforward level, not really much to talk about with this coming one. But the level after is... there's probably enough to say about it. A lot to say about it. Okay, so entering this next level, I might as well just get it out of the way now. Um, this is Girl Power Station. This is probably the most infamous level. Back when Octo expansion came out, I feel a lot of people have spoke about this level, and they found it really difficult. But for a speedrun, it's not really that difficult if you know what you're doing. So outside of the initial group of guys that spawns on the wall, this is an auto-scroller, by the way, so it's probably not wise to die. Which I actually haven't when I was practicing, like, earlier. But, like, after those set of guys, there are guys that spawn on that corner, this one, and the middle there at 45 seconds. The inner ones at 32 seconds, I believe. And then again on the outer ones at 21 seconds left. So if you, like, know when they're spawning, you can be ready to, like, get them before they can, like, approach the orb. I have no idea where the brush went. It wasn't bothering me. So this is probably another really difficult level. This is Matchmaster, and we do it with Rapid Blaster, which is pretty dangerous to do, but I should be fine. I'm just gonna focus on this though, because I have failed this. In a community race, I've actually failed this enough to lose 5 minutes, and that would not be ideal here. Falling would not be ideal. It loses time, like, considerable amount. Not as much as failing. Kinda jinxed myself. Alright, it's fine. Considering where I failed, that leaves us at least a minute and a half. So this would be another, like, reset heavy run, or level. But that's out of the way. The right side, actually, on the map here, is considered more harder than what's on the left side. Even though there are some hard levels on the left, but not that bad. Now this is the boss stage. The boss here is actually like a revamped version of one of the bosses in the base game single player. So like, they move quicker, there's faster shots. And here we're using the inkjet as opposed to in the base game where we use the charger, the sniper. I will probably never do that skip. Mainly because I'm not sure how to do it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't like it. I've written off to never do it, not even as a joke. So phase 2 is, or phase 1's kind of RNG, phase 2 and 3 are more like the same if you can get the hits, but I missed it. So about getting like your armor back, if you like stay in ink, it regens faster. I mean, if I do try it, I'll probably go over my estimate. Alright, this fight was not ideal. You can get him before he like does the dashing, and it just saves a ton of time. This is probably one of the most time lost levels if you can't do it correctly. So with that out of the way, we have reached the first thing. It's not really a level, you just collect the thing. So the four things are going to assemble something. Any guesses on what it can be? Based off of the first one? So after the first thing, the second one comes really quickly, actually. It's just 2 levels, and then the next one. This level here, I like to deem secretly the hardest level. Because you're using the Tent Umbrella. The Tent Umbrella has pretty slow shots, or end lag, rather. At the very end here, there's gonna be, like, missile guys, and they like to dash, like, across. I'm gonna wait. Hold on. Okay. Like, those missile guys like to dash, and right in front of me was, like, weaker crates, so if the missiles, like, hit the crates, I would have fallen, and I've lost time for it. So you really want to, like, kill them as quick as possible. Here's another level that's, like, doesn't have much to it, but there is a, like, there's a skip at the end, and it, like, saves 10 seconds if you can get it or not. Also, what I'm doing right here is, like, dually rolling. What I'm using, the weapon is the dually squelchers, and when you roll on the rails, you actually move slightly faster, and that shouldn't have hit that. And I've missed the, like, the skip. So if I got the skip, you could just jump from, like, the bottom there, and, like, get up here early. It normally saves 10 seconds if you can get it, and if you fail, you're losing 10 seconds. So we're at the second thing already. We're halfway done, pretty much. Alright, the second thing should be known what's being assembled. Now we tackle levels on the left side, as the left side has the last 2 things that we need. This side is a lot easier than the right side, but not by much. It's still pretty... there's some pretty difficult levels. I actually made the fast cycle on this level. Alright, here is the second and last 8-ball level of the 20%. Again, this one's probably easier than the other one. But things can still go wrong here. This is also like another cycle-based level. If you like try to aim for the fastest cycle, which I have not hit yet. So what we're actually gonna do here is do a trick called Seesaw Skip. Normally, what you're supposed to do is do some platforming for, like, what's behind. Okay. So, like, after, like, respawn, you're supposed to, like, put the 8-ball in, like, that icon there, and, like, do platforming up, and then shoot the 8-ball across this thing, but you can actually skip that, and it's not that hard. I just didn't align the ball correctly. Also, I guess something some people wouldn't know is that the 8-ball, like, moves depending on where you're standing, not so much where you're shooting. So if anyone's having trouble with the 8-ball levels, there's a little tip. So here's a pretty cool level. This level is recreating a multiplayer map and a multiplayer mode. This is the Rainmaker. What you have to do is bring the Rainmaker from your goal over to their goal. And I would say it's easier than actual multiplayer. Despite it being 1v however many they are. Like in multiplayer, your teammates may not have the same idea on how to move the objective, and because of that there's issues, and sometimes you can lose because of it, but here it's much easier to do, to win. So there's not much to talk about this level either. It's pretty, or okay. I normally make that. I'm not sure why. I've always had issues with this level. Not so straightforward, I guess. Like, if any area to mess up in that level, it's that part right there. But it went okay. This is another cycle-based level, and you have to break crates without hitting the balloons here. There's a sort of a set path that most runners follow, and I'm gonna try and do it. If you end up dying in this level, the cycle is very, like, not right, it's messed up. Okay, this next level here is probably my favorite, actually. I consider it probably the most similar to a level that's in the base game, in terms of movement. So I'd actually hope I can get everything correctly. I got the trick, but the guy, like, shot the thing and messed it up. Which is unfortunate. Just something that's never happened, actually, when I've practiced and did this level in runs. Now, I actually hope I can get this. Okay, I normally fail that jump. I'm not sure why it fails most of the time, either. So other than what happened earlier, that was an okay level. So we're at the third thing. We're really just about done. With the metro part of the run. So this is where we have to create Agent 3. I already mismenued. What you're supposed to do is make sure you don't do that. But yeah, it's set every Agent 3 should be the same if you're running this game. Because if you mess up menuing there, you would be losing time. I wouldn't say menuing is, like, really difficult in this run. It's just that you're moving fast, and sometimes flickback happens. That normally happens on, for me at least, on the Switch Pro Controller. Like, it goes back to the other option. Here's another auto-scroller level. Losing on this would be bad. Losing on an auto-scroller in general is just very bad. So this next level is probably, for me, what would make or break a PB. I've lost times here. Multiple runs here. So this level, you cannot get damaged at all. You cannot get shot by an enemy. You cannot touch their ink. Most runners have deemed this level damageless, which makes sense. I would say the weird thing about this level is that you can, for a very brief moment, touch the enemy ink. The game just, like, doesn't register it until... for just a while. You still wouldn't want to, like, go through it. We should be good. Out of all levels I thought I would have messed up, it would have been this one, but we actually got through it. So there is one more level before the last thing, and then we enter the part of the run that's considered escape. This is also like another auto-scroller. So it really shouldn't be bad to mess up. Kind of like tower defense in a way. a genre I've never played in a very long time, actually. So that is the last level. We're collecting the last thing here. So here's a pretty long cutscene. It's not that long, but it's like a minute. So I would say that this is a perfect time to stretch, get some water. If there's any donations, that can happen.
No, there are no donations, but we do have some incentives. So our targets that we're trying to meet. So for Kirby and the Forgotten Land, we're the secret Hell rooms are $40 away, and for Kirby and the Forgotten Land Ultimate Cup Z, we're $199 away from. So we'll just keep putting those donations in. They go to a good cause.
Perfect. I normally consider this part of the run here, a reflection of how it's going. Think about my mistakes, and clearly everything has not been perfect. This is way off my PB, actually, but that's really fine. I still feel like this is pretty good. Given I've done no resets before, I feel like this would be a good one. Like, I've gotten 21, a 121 in no resets. I believe I've gotten a 17. But shortly we should be entering the last portion here. Seven phases. This is another point where I've lost many runs to. Just this entire sequence here. This first part here, I think it suggests stealth. Or like it recommends stealth, but it's definitely a suggestion, because we're not gonna be all that stealthy. In some cases, we have to be stealthy for that right there. But for the most part, we're getting through this quickly. I had my armor broken there, but it's okay, because checkpoints restore, like, your armor, if it's, like, broken. That's actually not the case in Splatoon 3. I'm not sure why they, like, changed that. In Splatoon 3, you also have less iframes after getting, like, your armor broken. So you could die really quickly. But here is the second phase, which I feel like many people would know because of what's called Octo shot skip. So what's done is you get the bomb that's on the left side here, and then you completely skip the Octo shot by just going up the wall here and throwing your bomb in a very specific way and hoping it hits a switch. It's very RNG. I've seen it kill runs. I've never done it myself, and I will never do it myself either. But yeah, that's a trick that's more like very high runners, top runners, world record runners, and now if I can do it, I probably can. I just don't know the setup really. But I won't. I can't. So yeah, instead of going over to this side here, you just go up there. Okay, that kind of messes up things here, I feel. Yeah, slightly. There's my Octo shot skip. My Octo shot skip. Much easier. Okay. Third phase here, it's kind of scary because if you end up dying here, you lose a ton of time because this is another cycle-based part. And the ending part that's showing right now is like on a completely different cycle. So you would normally have to like take another death in order to like reset the cycle. that is phase 3. The fourth phase shouldn't be that hard. I have messed up sometimes, but it's not very, like, strict or anything. Like, you necessarily wouldn't lose a lot. And that is phase 4. Entering phase 5 here. I would say I'm kinda terrified of it, because this is the level that I actually messed up enough to have lost runs. This is another cycle-based portion, and we have to make the spinning one that's on the back left there. If that cycle is missed, it's losing at least 15 seconds. If you fall here with the inkjet, that's probably why I'm, like, scared of it. You can probably lose close to a minute, which has actually happened to me. In one run, actually, I fell, lost about 50 seconds, and I PB'd by a second, which was kinda sad that it happened. Like that. That ruins the cycle. I would probably say that this is my most practice, like, level. And I still happen to mess it up a bit. So yeah, I missed that earlier cycle, which is at least 15, 16 seconds. I think more, actually. That is phase 5. Phase 6 is another scary one for me. So the thing we just unlocked in 5, we have the guide in 6, and sometimes things can go wrong. That's just out of your control. Pretty tight to make the missile cycle there. They're not too terrible. This is a part where most runners would mess up because of that guy right there. He throws bombs and sometimes it can hit the core thing here and break your armor. You can also be like killed through it. And that guy likes to dash around, so it's like hard to kill. I took a chance. I did there's a damage boost there that you can do rather. And I went a little bit too far to not have the bowling ball like hit the core. If the bowling ball hits it, it's a one-shot, so you would also want to avoid that. Alright, but that's the end. Not too terrible. Yes. For after the second checkpoint, we want Ink to throw a bomb at the core, so it automatically moves without you shooting it. It makes it easier to kill the two guys. So this is the last phase. So in this last phase, what we're going to attempt to do is cutscene skip. I'd like to look at the text boxes here to know when to jump. And it skips about 10 seconds, I believe. Yeah, sometimes I miss it. Or rather, most of the time. I actually believe someone brought up the point that that can be considered like a death abuse because you're skipping a cutscene, but it doesn't really count towards like the in-game mechanic of skipping the level. So pretty much the final thing we have to do is fight Agent 3. He has 4 phases. That's the first one. The second one, kind of bully him. He gets into Baller. Pretty much force him into the corner. The third phase here, he uses everyone's favorite special, Stingray. I definitely don't hate it. I'm lying. I don't like the special. And fourth phase here, the last one, he like does very quick splashdowns. Not as quick as, say, the Inner Agent 3 fight, but he does it, and that's the end. Not quite the end yet, because there's actually a 6-minute cutscene, followed by 3 minutes of the final fight. So I would say that this is another time to stretch, water, donations, if any.
Let's see. No donations, but we do have Um, we still have some incentives to go for the Kirby and the Forgotten Land, $40 from the Secret Hell Rooms, and Kirby and the Forgotten Land Ultimate Cup Z for $199 from. Let's see. And then for prizes, we have the Super Mario Kart Portrait, $10, Switch game prize packet, $15, and then the Steam game mystery prize packet, $25 will be entered for those. And you can see all the prizes and donations scheduled by doing exclamation point D, exclamation point S, or exclamation point P in chat.
Great. So, I actually did not make Inner Agent 3 an incentive. I did not think of it until, I guess, yesterday. It didn't come to me until yesterday. I totally could have, but yeah. I'm not sure if I'm able to do it anyway. I'll probably go overtime, and I don't want to do that. So essentially, the whole end sequence here is that Telephone was evil, obviously, and he hates Inkling society, so he wants to destroy it and restart society so it matches, I believe, what ours is like currently to like humanity. But we're gonna stop him. I'm not sure if anyone would remember this ran at GDQ. I believe it was a GDQ 2019 where Tones was running the category, Tones Ballones, and this entire section where he was just flossing. That's just something I would bring up just to add the time in between this cutscene because it's very long. But yeah, Turf War, this is like, not quite like the multiplayer mode, But you do have 3 minutes, like the multiplayer mode. But it'll be done, finished way before then. Now, when it comes to this, I actually have not messed this fight up. Or, not really fight, but this... Since the first casual playthrough, back when it came out. So this should go well. There's definitely a lot of downtime between the bombs you have to explode. So, you know, why wouldn't you play around while waiting for, like, the next set? Also to note that the bombs appear in the same order every time, as it should, it was mentioned. Okay, so time will be within the next minute 10 actually. Everything goes well, there should be at least like 15 seconds spare. Like, I missed the one over there, but we come around again. And that is Splatoon 2 Octo expansion. Time in 10. And time. Definitely not my best, I feel. My PB is a 111.59, if that says anything. Unlike how extreme it is, but I'll take this. Now the funny thing is that I thought I overestimated this, and I'm kinda glad that I didn't really. Because I think when I submitted, I had a 112, and I thought that I was going to get around, like, a 14. That is not the case. So yeah, that's the category. Really great one. It's a category I probably wouldn't recommend to, like, a beginner that are just, like, getting into Splatoon speedruns, but this is definitely a good one to, like, watch. Pretty intense. If any shoutouts can be given, definitely towards the Splatoon speedrun community. They have helped a lot with this category, the other categories as well. Like, they are real help. I've been striving for a top 10 in most categories. I only got it in one, and I still want it in others, but I'll say we'll get there. Also, if you're looking for a speedrun, I feel like Splatoon is a very easy speedrun to get into. Splatoon 3, again, just came out. That's pretty much what the Discord is doing right now. But in terms of speedruns, Splatoon is fun. I wouldn't say it's very strict until you get to the higher levels, but still a good time to watch and do.
Hey, all right. Thanks for the great run of Splatoon 2 Vertigo.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back. We're going back to intermission. Be right back.